Well, well, well. So we got more news from the Dallas Cowboys today. And so one of the big stories of today is actually the Maxx Crosby story and how Maxx Crosby was actually almost a Dallas Cowboy. Then we got another big story. The Dallas Cowboys signed one, I think it's Derion Kendrick. Then we have another story coming out where Brian Schottenheimer is already starting to talk about the 2026 draft and his place in that 2026 draft. And I believe Schotty is going to have a lot of say-so this year. And then finally, but we're going to begin our show with this story today, is I don't care what anyone says. George Pickens keeps proving everybody wrong, no matter what they say. All of this and more today on Let's Talk Cowboys. Let's Talk Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Hey, 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 let's go. Let's go, Cowboys Nation. I am glad the Cowboys are not resting on their laurels. The Cowboys are out there all over the place. They're at these pro days. They're looking at players. Man, I'm telling you, the Cowboys, they are going for that chip. Welcome, 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 Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And as you come into this live stream, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And if you haven't become a channel member or subscriber yet, what are you waiting on? We have a lot of great things coming up the rest of this season. Now let's talk facts. So today, we're going to talk about how people continue to be wrong about George Pickens. We're also going to talk about the story about Maxx Crosby. And I told y'all I was right on this, and this story is justifying what I said about the Maxx Crosby deal. Then, the Cowboys continue to make great moves. They are bringing in another good depth piece, as in Derion Kendrick. And then that's going to lead us to Brian Schottenheimer talking about the draft. And everything the Cowboys are doing right now, it's really showing that they're really serious about the draft. And I do believe that if the Cowboys will just add just a couple of more players, this draft is going to be the icing on the cake of what's going to be a much improved defense and a much improved team for the Dallas Cowboys. So that's going to be our story today. Our show today going to be real streamlined. We're going to be talking about how people are wrong about George Pickens, Crosby almost a Cowboy, Derion Kendrick, Schotty's draft, and anything else that might break while we're on the show. Let's go. Let's get it. Hey, hey, hey. It's going to be a great show. Let's get to this roll call. Get that done real quick, and then we're off to the races. Doomsday Cowboy, first one in the chat. My man, what up, Doomsday? He said there's a lot of questions with the Cowboys. Be willing to give up 2 first-round picks for Sonny Styles? I don't think I would, no. Nah, I can't, Doomsday. Doomsday, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think even if you gave up 2 first-round picks, you're not going to get Sonny Styles. We'll talk about it in just a moment since you said that. I'm going to put a star up there. We'll come back to it in the draft. John Jones, he said, what up, G Money? I tell you, it's a New Jack City. Money talk. Bullcorn runs a marathon. Let's go. My man, Rombowski, he said, well, I'd be happy if I had more say in the quality in my old house. Yes, sir. Good to see you. Christian Legal, what's going on? You said the Cowboys signed another quarterback. Tells me they're probably going linebacker in the draft with the first 2 picks. Oh, I'm going to tell you something. I still think they're going cornerback in this draft. And I'm telling you right now, if Mansour Delane is there, the Cowboys are picking him up. Derek Grimsley, what's going on? Gee, I had a dream. We won the Super Bowl in 2027. I done told you, Derek. I had my dream. I had mine on Sunday night, and I had a dream the Cowboys won the Super Bowl. Rico Love, Yo, what up with you? Dolores said it's good to see you. What's going on, Raven Richards? What up with you? Bump TY 5 times. What up from the 903? Lock and D's, time to lock in. Lock and D, good to see you. What's going on, Phyllis? Good to see you. Tony Nichols, what up, Tony? Let's go, let's get it, Tony. Demetrius Noel, what's going on? Well. Nisi is in the chat. What's going on, Nisi? Good to see you. We've been missing you in the chat. Grave Digger, what's going on, Grave Digger? Frank Lawrence, what up, Frank Lawrence? Good to see you. Poobie D, got my back. He says smash that like button. What's going on, Poobie D? Gwen Bowden, good to see you. Hallelujah 15, what's up? It's that sax guy. What's good? What's good with you? Douglas Jackson, what's popping? Man, it's always the Cowboys, ain't it? It's God and the Cowboys always popping. What's going on? Roland Rodriguez, let me tell you something. We better get Jacob Rodriguez, Roland Rodriguez. Let's go. Dallas 88, what's up? True Cowboy. Big Boss Dog, my dog, what up? Bazzy 9. Chris Dunaway, what up, Chris Dunaway? We're going to talk about the Cowboys today. Run it up 72. What's going on? Run it up. Dominique Pittman. What's going on, Dominique? True Texan. What's going on, True Texan? Good to see you today. Howdy. What's going on? Douglas Jackson, what is going on? He said, when we win a Super Bowl, it's going to be so fast, we won't believe what just happened. Oh, yeah, we're going to get it in our lifetime, too. Bust the budget. What's going on? AKA also Newhouse fam. What up, Newhouse fam? What up, Chris? What up, Chris? He said, all them suckers really looking at Brooks. I think they are. But I don't think Brooks is the only one they're looking at. What's going on, Jack Edmonds? Good to see you. Good to see you. Carl Williams. Brandy, what's going on? She said, hey, my people. Hail Mary 75, what's going on? Good to see you. All right, let's get this show started. Keek, what is going on? Good to see everybody tonight. Give yourselves a hands. Best chat on YouTube. Let's chat it up. All right, hold on a second. I'm trying to get this. All right. Let's get this thing going. So the part on George Pickens, it's going to be pretty short today. I've just exhausted myself talking about George Pickens. I don't understand what's going on with the conversation with George Pickens. And I'm so, I mean, it's not like I'm related to George Pickens or anything like that. It's not like he my nephew or anything, but I just look at these young guys, man, at my age, and I just look at these young men and I always want them to make the right decision. And I noticed something when people were talking about Jackson Smith and Jigba. This stuff, man, I'm telling you something. I'm going to have as much of a crash out as you can as a Christian. And I'm going to state some serious facts. I can get with people wanting to have George Pickens on a discounted deal. I understand that. I can get with that to a degree. I understand. We robbed the Pittsburgh Steelers. Flat out. We robbed them. And now they realize we robbed them. And George Pickens, to me, seems to be the example of somebody that when they change their environment and they get around the right people, how it changes them in so many ways. And it is funny to me how when the Pittsburgh Steelers went and got DK Metcalf, the Pittsburgh Steelers went and got DK Metcalf and let go of George Pickens because they said, according to them, they said George Pickens was a basket case, head case. He's a problem. All these different things. Only for now, y'all remember, DK Metcalf goes up and punches a guy, basically pushes a guy in the stands, got a lawsuit against him, didn't do half of anything, got suspended for 2 games, didn't do anything. People have been on George Pickens because George Pickens missed the curfew in Las Vegas. But other than that, George Pickens has been a model citizen, model teammate. People got mad talking about he disappeared in a game, not putting the blame where it actually deserved to be. That was the coaching staff relegating George Pickens to slant routes, and then got mad because the Detroit Lions came in double covering, favoring the coverage over the George Pickens, jumping the slant routes, and then got mad because George Pickens is frustrated because, hey, can we do something different over here? Okay, it's growth. We still got some growth to go, but George Pickens did a whole lot of growing. And for the most part, for as much as people have talked about George Pickens and how much of a problem he was going to be, George Pickens hasn't actually been a problem. He's taken whatever criticism the Cowboys have given him. He's taken whatever it is. He's just in stride. He's taking it in stride, and he's went on about his business. George has been very quiet, hasn't been out here talking about his contract in the court of public opinion, hasn't been doing anything off the wall, been hanging with his boy CeeDee Lamb pretty much this offseason, and I'm pretty sure they're putting in work on being better wide receivers. We've heard nothing from George Pickens about his contract. George Pickens has actually been the model citizen. And I think people are wanting George Pickens to crash out because I noticed the digs that people have been taking at George Pickens. Why can't Jackson Smith and Jigba? Why can't Jackson Smith and Jigba get his extension and people not try to put down George Pickens? Why can't Jackson Smith and Jigba get his extension and people not put down George Pickens? I'm talking about Cowboys fans. I'm talking about the media. I'm talking about the Cowboys media. I'm talking about people like Colin Cowherd. Yeah, people are saying that the price went up for George Pickens because of Jackson Smith and Jigba. But then it says, well, George Pickens is no Jackson Smith and Jigba. What are you talking about? I would take George Pickens over Jackson Smith and Jigba. I would take George Pickens over Jackson Smith and Jigba. Because what I did not see with the Dallas Cowboys in 2025, I didn't see one wide receiver. I didn't see one cornerback that was able to handle George Pickens one-on-one. But I can tell you what I saw in the Super Bowl. Gonzalez for the New England Patriots. He put them clanks on Jackson Smith and Jigba. Jackson Smith and Jigba didn't look the same against the New England Patriots. Gonzalez put them clanks on him. And I have yet to see anybody put those clanks on George Pickens unless it was in double coverage. Nobody's done that to George Pickens. People are liars about George Pickens. They keep saying he's only had one great season. No, this man in actuality has had all pro seasons when you think about the quarterbacks he's been playing for. George Pickens has absolutely been incredible. And when he got with Dak Prescott, we got to even understand that we really only seen about an 11-game snapshot of George Pickens because he's playing with CeeDee Lamb. He's only playing with another top 5 receiver, and he still did that damage. It is insane to me that people take digs at George saying, yeah, because Jackson Smith and Jigba is a model citizen. And I notice people will always throw in his attitude and things that he did in Pittsburgh. Man, let me tell you something. There are just certain people, they'll never let you be redeemed. I don't care if you go 15,000, I don't care if you go 15 years without doing anything bad. The moment you do something bad, somebody say, you remember what he did 15 years ago? I don't understand the George Pickens hate. Even Cowboys fans. If we want George to play on a discounted deal, say it. But don't sit there and devalue the man talking about, oh, he's not even worth $30 million. He's not even worth $29. He's not even worth $28 million. Stop it. It's madness. The Cowboys are the number one rated wide receiver duo in the league right now. Why do you think that is? Because I guarantee you, CeeDee Lamb and Ryan Flournoy will not have you rated as the number one wide receiver duo in the league. Stop this madness. Stop this madness. And people think it's about George Pickens. This isn't about George Pickens for me. This is about the Dallas Cowboys. I saw us with one wide receiver. I saw what we look like. And then I saw what we look like with two wide receivers. I saw what we look like with two number ones. I don't want to go back. I don't care what anyone says. I don't want to go back. I don't care what anybody is talking about. I want the Cowboys to do whatever it is they need to do. I want George Pickens here. I want him here, not just for a season. I want George Pickens here for the next 3 to 4 years. I don't want to go back to what it looked like before George Pickens. I don't want to go back to teams double covering CeeDee Lamb. And then whoever else we got, they put their number one receiver on. I don't want that no more. When Christian Parker tells you that George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb is a problem together, well, it is the Joneses' job to keep them together. And I don't understand Cowboys, some of our Cowboys people. In order to keep George Pickens, so we got to down George Pickens in order to keep him. We got to talk about what he's not worth. He ought to be glad to get this. Yeah, you're saying that because you're not worth $40 million a year. George Pickens is possibly worth $40 million a year. We don't have to say he's not worth $40 million a year to keep him here. CeeDee Lamb is worth $40 million a year. If Jackson Smith-Njigba is worth what he's worth, I'm sorry, I'll take CeeDee Lamb every day of the week over Jackson Smith-Njigba. I'll take CeeDee Lamb. I'll take George Pickens. I'll take Jamar Chase. I'll take Justin Jefferson. Man, I'll tell you, I'll even take Puka Nacua over Jackson Smith-Njigba. And that ain't dogging Jackson Smith-Njigba. He's one of them. I'll take those 5 wide receivers over him every single day of the week. Don't care who it make mad. I'll take all 5 of them over him. But we got people out here talking about, yeah, man. Hey, man. Yeah, George ain't this and George ain't that. Man, I don't care what they talking about. George is all of that and a bag of chips. And Cowboys Nation ought to be saying it. We ought not be joining in with everybody else talking about, yeah, man, George ain't worth this. George ain't worth that. What? I saw what we look like without George. I know what George is worth. George, in his first season with the Cowboys, balled out. And I want to see some more of it. I want to see a healthy CeeDee Lamb and a healthy George Pickens playing together, tearing this league down. I don't understand people. I don't give a doggone what Jerry has to do. I don't care if he pays George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb $40 million, as long as he can keep them together and keep building this team. How about, Jerry, it's time to start doing some stuff that people say that you can't do. Man, you build this team. I don't care what you got to do. I'm not listening to people. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of folk trying to down George Pickens so that we can keep him. What? Stupid talk. Absolute stupid talk. I love what George Pickens. George Pickens is doing exactly what he should be doing. Man, let these haters talk. Let these haters talk. I'll defend you. You don't need to say a word. Some of us in Cowboys Nation will defend George Pickens. I don't understand us, man. Running around crying like a baby. Ooh, I wish we had another wide receiver. Ooh, I wish we had a number 2. Well, God bless you with a number 1 receiver. But now we're saying, ooh, he's not worth number 1 receiver pay. What? Stop this madness. It's pure madness. We got to degrade this man so that we can basically justify having him at a below market deal. Man, the Cowboys, they fleeced the Pittsburgh Steelers. Bottom line, man. They fleeced them boys. Cowboys fleeced Pittsburgh. George Pickens is making Pittsburgh look bad. Because in actuality, it wasn't George Pickens. It was Pittsburgh. That's who it was. It was Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers' fault. They have not been able to find a quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger. It's their fault. They have not had a good offensive coordinator. It's their fault. They've been trash on offense since Ben Roethlisberger left, and in the last few years of Ben Roethlisberger. It's their fault. They've been trash. And George Pickens is getting a part of that residue from the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're acting like George Pickens was the problem. Well, look what they look like without him. Stop it. They were trash with DK Metcalf. Stop it. Then trying to blame it on George Pickens. There's a reason why George Pickens had an attitude when he was with them. Trash. And then people keep trying to talk bad about George Pickens. Oh, yeah, his attitude and this and that. Shut up. Let me show you how Pickens keeps proving them wrong. So there's a story dropping. I pray this story isn't true. I absolutely pray this story isn't true. Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua is either being set up or Puka Nacua has to be one of the dumbest young men I've ever seen. I just gotta wonder, man. I'm sorry, Cowboys Nation. I just have to wonder. Who do these young men have as mentors in their life? Who? Do y'all know that Puka Nacua is better than Jackson Smith and Jigba? Do y'all know that Puka Nacua is better than Jackson Smith and Jigba? Puka Nacua, his first 3 years in this league have been better than Jackson Smith and Jigba. The only thing he didn't get was that Super Bowl. And we might ought to question some of that. Because this league made some calls for the Seattle Seahawks, not once but twice in both of those games that cost the Rams those games. The Rams probably could have been the number 1 seed, and the Rams probably could have went to the Super Bowl instead of the Seahawks. Oh, yeah, the Rams put points on them boys and that number 1 overall defense. Puka Nacua is an absolute beast. But this young man has got some growing to do. Have y'all seen this story? This is why I say George Pickens keeps proving people wrong. If you let some of the Dallas media tell it, and some of the Dallas Cowboy fans tell it, and some of the national media tell it, it should have been George Pickens and not DK Metcalf punching somebody in the stands. And it should be George Pickens out here in trouble rather than Puka Nacua. Have y'all seen this story? This is crazy. TMZ is reporting there is a woman out here that is reporting, and this is all allegedly. I pray this isn't true about Puka Nacua. And if it's not true, Puka Nacua needs to get his butt somewhere and sit down, and he needs some grown women and some grown men. He need a father figure. Somebody need to tell his butt to sit down somewhere. Because if he was my son, I'd have been at his doorstep last night. This story right here would have broke. Oh, I'd have been at his doorstep last night. Woman out here talking about Nacua done bitter, pierced the skin, and said, blank all, you can read it right there. He got wasted after the Super Bowl, makes fun of Sam Darnold. Lies about going on a skydiving date with Sydney Sweeney. Goes on a live stream with Aiden Ross and agrees to do an anti-you-know-what touchdown dance. I saw it today and I couldn't believe it. What is going on with this young man? Jackson Smith and Jigba signs that deal. Everybody knows Puka Nacua is about to come behind him and break the bank and shatter that deal. Well, we're going to see now. We're going to see now. It's amazing to me that everybody keeps talking about the reason why George Pickens isn't worth this money is because he's a bad apple, he's a bad actor, he's bad news. And I don't see any of this stuff with George Pickens. Cowboys Nation, I'm just saying it this simple. If we want to be glad the Cowboys fleeced the Pittsburgh Steelers, got George Pickens on a franchise tag, got him at 27 point whatever million dollars this year, and we got George Pickens on a great deal, hey, man, that's all fine and dandy. We don't have to put this young man down in order to justify what we're paying him. We don't have to put this man down. We don't have to put this man down because we want him to give the Dallas Cowboys a hometown discount. Stay with the Dallas Cowboys. We don't have to put this man down. It's like at every turn I'm on X and I'm like, why are Cowboy fans so angry at George Pickens? Because he's worth, if you're telling me that Alec Pierce is getting paid more than George Pickens, and you paid Jackson Smith and Jigba, who I would take every one of the 4 wide receivers who were above him and George Pickens over him. I would take all of them over him, and they made him that, they paid him that kind of money. And for us to even say that George Pickens isn't worth $40 million? That math ain't mathing to me. It ain't mathing. It ain't mathing to me. It's crazy work. I don't care nothing about no 12% of the cap, 13% of the cap, 14% of the cap. Whatever percent of the cap Jackson Smith and Jigba got, I'm sorry. I'll take George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. I'll take them all over Jackson Smith and Jigba. But I understand. He got a Super Bowl. The Seattle Seahawks, they seem like they're conceding. They're letting go of players. They're paying big-time contracts. And the Seattle Seahawks are basically saying, it's time to pay people. We got our Super Bowl. We'll see how competitive they are going forward. But I'm so happy with George Pickens. Because if you were listening to some of the people in the Cowboys fan base, all of these things that we're seeing about these wide receivers, it should actually be George Pickens. But George Pickens continues to prove everybody wrong, even when they're out here talking bad about this man. So many people in the Dallas media, content creators, Dallas Cowboy fans on social media. You know he's on social media. Media members out there in the 3 and 4 letter networks say, oh, well, George, he shouldn't expect to get paid. He shouldn't expect to get paid with those other wide receivers. I ain't said I wish I was his father, but if he was my son, I'd be like, what? Man, don't you let these people tell you what you think that you ought not think you're worth this, that, and the other. What? Man, this is sickening to me. He ought to understand that he ain't worth. He ought to understand. Man, I don't know what they talking about. Shoot, I'm telling my son, man, you the best in the world. There aren't even, I would tell my son if he was George Pickens, there aren't even 5 wide receivers in the world that can do what you do. Man, don't you listen to these people. Don't you listen to these people. It's crazy talk. Let me read some super chats. Man, these people got me fired up today. Salute USMC. He said, what people don't realize in JSN contract only averages $32.5 million a year. Those other 2 years don't go anywhere. You have to average everything in 6 years. And USMC. And I also know what they did with the contract too. A part of his contract is the 5th-year option, if I'm not mistaken, built into that contract. So they gave him the 5th-year option, then they extended him 4 more years, locking him up for 6 years. But they actually got an out on that contract after year 2 of the 4-year deal kick in. And so the thing about the Jackson Smith and Jigba deal, Look at the guaranteed money. He is still technically not the highest paid wide receiver in the game, because the highest paid wide receiver in the game is the one that's got the most guaranteed money. And I'm thinking that's either Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase. The guaranteed money is where it's at. I care nothing about the total guaranteed money. Tony Nichols, appreciate you. Tony Nichols said the hate for GP and the Cowboys is just like Satan's hate for the child of God. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tony Nichols said it's about receiving grace and another chance. Even when Dallas is down, we up DC4L. Man, I'm telling you, Tony Nichols, these people got me hot, man. Let this man grow. Let this man grow. Stop saying what he's not when he is what you're saying he's not. He has come into the Cowboys, and this man has did a 180. See, people don't understand, man. When you do a 180, it don't mean you don't make a mistake again every now and then. You're still growing. But this man has done a 180. Man, it's amazing to me how good of a citizen George Pickens has been. Man, George Pickens is over here in one of the biggest media outlets in professional sports. Ain't heard a peep. Haven't heard a peep. Seen some pictures. Seen a video. Haven't heard a peep. Tired of these people talking about this man. Larry Golden said, G, I'm proud of you. He said, I like the way you stick up for people regardless of the stupid idiots that are out there throwing him under the bus. You make me proud to be a Cowboy fan. Man, I'm telling you, Larry Golden. It bothers me when they do this to these young men. And George Pickens has done nothing but come into the Cowboys and do what he's supposed to do. Brandy, I saw what you said earlier. Brandy said, oh, so we biting people now. Brandy, Puka needs some parental guidance. This young man needs some parental guidance. I don't know what's going on with this young man. He needs some parental guidance. Dominique said, Puka be hanging with them dumb streamers. One of those streamers is supposedly a racist. I know exactly what you're talking about. Dumb. What is George Pickens doing? George Pickens is hanging around C.D. Lamb, Angie, the rebel chick's boyfriend. Hey, that's how you stay out of trouble. That's how you stay out of trouble. Ron Bowski said, yeah, if I'm the Rams GM and head coach, then I'm happy with them telling Puka they'll be taking another year to wait on dealing with his contract. Man, let me tell you something. Ron Bowski. Puka may have messed himself out of easily $10 million. Easy. 10, 15 million, maybe even 20. Man, this turns out to be true. He just flushed 40 million down the drain. That is crazy work to me. What? Oh my gosh. This is crazy, man. Bass said Puka getting wasted a lot of Super Bowl and a UFC fight. Yeah, man. This dude got crazy stuff out there. Bass said, I feel that. He said, that's real stuff. I'm doing the same. I get it at how I respect that. Let's keep grinding. It's going to pay off. Man, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. This stuff is crazy what's going on out there. Doomsday said the problem with these kids is parents can't and whoop their butts anymore. Like we got when we were kids, there's a thing called respect, and you learned it as a kid, or or you never learned it. Yeah, I talked about it on Sunday. We're watching a lot of undisciplined children. But hey, let me tell you something. I know some children that did get disciplined, and they're worse than Puka. So it kind of goes both ways. But man, I'm telling you, I just need to see what's going on. I mean, I don't even really need to see what's going on. But Puka Nacua needs some guidance, man. Aussie said, I really don't understand why the Seahawks extended JSN with 2 years left on his contract. What was he going to do? Not play football? Aussie, I don't understand it. But again, Aussie, I do understand it. Let me rephrase it. I do understand it. Because the Seahawks are saying $42 million today is not $42 million tomorrow. They're saying if they waited 2 more years, it might would have been $46, $47 million. So they said they'd rather go ahead and do it now. And they also gave themselves 2 years out. And again, Aussie, focused on the guaranteed money. The real guaranteed money on that deal is only $69 million. It's not no $120 million. That's the total guaranteed. Man, he ain't gonna. Man, I'd be shocked if he see that total guaranteed money, because most players don't. The only players that normally see that total guaranteed money is quarterbacks. They don't see that guaranteed money. Ron Mack said, I believe George Pickens has proven he's made a turn for the better, and he's not a selfish person. Man, Ron Mack, let me tell you something. I disagree with everybody on this. I don't believe George Pickens is asking the Cowboys for $40 million. I don't believe it. I'll have to be proven wrong. I'll have to be proven wrong by Pickens and his agent. I don't believe it. I do not believe George Pickens is going to ask the Cowboys for $40 million. I don't believe it. And I think this is one of the reasons why people keep trying to put down George, because they're saying, oh, we got to downgrade George. We got to put George down so George don't even think about asking for $40 million. The problem is this. He's worth $40 million. I don't think he was ever going to ask for it. I don't. And I still don't think he's going to ask for $40 million. I don't think George is going to ask for $40 million. I believe George is going to be satisfied with $36 million. If I was George, I wouldn't even care about the numbers that they're putting on the front end. All I care about is the back end. George Pickens absolutely beats the Jackson Smith and Jigba deal if he gets 70, 75, or $80 million guaranteed. All I'm concerned about is the guaranteed money, because that's what Jerry was talking about with the Parsons contract. Jerry was saying that the front number for Green Bay is bigger than what he was offering, but it's the guaranteed money. Jerry said that was more. So if I'm George Pickens, I'm going for the TJ Watt deal. I want the guaranteed money. I want the money that says, come hell or high water, this is what you're going to get paid. I'm going for that 70, 75, that $80 million guaranteed. I care nothing about them front end numbers. I care nothing about those front end numbers. I don't. Walt says Pickens will get paid his worth. The salary cap is larger. Pickens will get paid his worth. I love Pickens. I'm with you. And I'm going to tell you something else, Walt. For anybody who wants the Cowboys to keep George on a franchise tag, why would you want that? Why would you want $27 million to come off the cap this season? Man, you could make George Pickens, you could do a deal with George, give him big signing bonus up front, prorate that signing bonus, and have George Pickens counting somewhere around between $5 and $10 million against the cap, leaving you another $22 million to go and get other players in free agency. Why would you want that? Why would you only want George Pickens for 2 years? I would still put George Pickens on a $70 million guaranteed deal. I'd get George for 3 years. I'd put some things I'd put some clauses in there. Let George be able to escalate that deal up to whatever it is on the front end. And I would have George for 3 years. It'd be a 4-year deal, and it would be a 3-year option for me if George started acting a fool, or if his behavior or anything happened, or if his performance went down. But why would I want to pay George 60-something million for 2 years when I can have George for 3 to 4 years for $70 million? Explain to me again, why would I want to do that? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. I'm not paying George Pickens $60 million over 2 years directly off the cap. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. I'm not even wasting $30 million on George. I either want George Pickens or I don't. Bottom line, I either want him or I don't. And if I want him, I'm doing the deal and I'm done with it and I'm not looking back. And I do believe this is what everybody, well, I'm not going to say everybody because everybody's not saying it. But I have heard Mike Fisher saying that George is going to get paid. Bust the budget, he said they mad because George don't give him any reaction. Keek said, G, the thing that gets me is people just assume he won't attend off-season workouts without a deal. They swear they know GP. He will shock everyone and do the opposite of what people think. We're going to see. And I'm going to tell you something that's even crazier, Keek. You tell me what you think. I got a strange feeling if George attends these quote-unquote voluntary workouts, oh, he going to get paid. I believe somewhere somebody's already told him he going to get paid. I do. And hallelujah, he says they waiting to spend money on defense. That's Steven for you. And think about it, hallelujah. You go ahead and extend George. That's more money you can spend on defense. Blake said they're jealous, G. Thanks for sticking up for the true Cowboys believers. Man, I want George to be a Cowboy. Man, we need dogs like GP, man. I love a cornerback telling another, telling a Marshawn Lattimore, I do this to you. Hey, man, George is one of them real ones. Bass said, when he said why in season we met GP3 on the field, it was clearly taken further. Man, I'm telling you. Rambowski said, why are you surprised, though, G? He said, you knew it would be Mulligetta versus Stubborn Jerry round 2. Only difference now is GP doesn't flock to the cameras like Michael did, but Jerry still won't write a check. And Rambowski. But the thing that's crazy to me is how the fan base be hating on this dude, George. The media be hating on this dude. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Why y'all hating on this dude so bad? Man, two things can be true. You got him on a cheap deal. You got him in a headlock. You got him on a great deal. But you don't have to talk bad about the dude. That's crazy, man. Brandon said, Puka, hang out with Stafford. He's a good influence. Yeah, man. Hallelujah said, I only invite people when they want me to. Man, I'm telling you, it's crazy. All right, guys, I'm off the soapbox on George Pickens. But man, George Pickens, people, oh, man, you're for the player. No, I'm for the team. Last time I checked, George Pickens is a Dallas Cowboy. I don't know nobody talking about. And I don't want nothing to jeopardize what this team is. You don't subtract. You don't add to subtract. You keep building. If Christian Parker told you what a problem it is to have CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens to plan for them, man, you do not go against what your defense coordinator just told you. You do not do it. Doomsday said, gee, this is all bad talk about Pickens because people hate the Cowboys and they know the Cowboys are in the process of building a Super Bowl team. I believe it. And without teams are afraid of the Cowboys. And Doomsday, Cowboys fans, let me tell y'all something. Freddie Morales says this all the time. Man, this is not our money. Let the Cowboys. Jerry Jones said he was going to bust the budget. You let Jerry Jones destroy that salary cap. I don't care what nobody say. Destroy it, Jerry. Destroy it. Go out here, extend Pickens, and keep building this defense. Keep building this defense. JCT Slice, he says Schotty needs to go defense and tackle with his first 2 picks for sure. Could use a back and a tight end at some point too, maybe defensive end too. Middle linebacker and a safety too could use some attention. We still have 4. Let me tell you something. I'm very excited about this draft. And what's making me get more excited about this draft is that the Cowboys are still trying to work all the way up until the draft. This is what's getting me excited about this draft. Because the Cowboys have really got to put themselves in a position to where they can pick the best player. And I don't call it BPA. Really, it needs to be best defensive player available. But I also want the Cowboys to keep themselves in a situation or position where I'm telling y'all right now, there's only one offensive player that can change my mind about not going defense in the first 4 rounds. And that player is Jeremiah Love. He's the only player that can change my mind. Jeremiah Love is arguably one of the top 5 best players in this draft. I don't think Jeremiah Love is going to fall to the Cowboys, but I do believe that if he's there at 12, the Cowboys are going to get him. Intelligent Savage said, gee, we may be looking at good old-fashioned collusion in the NFL to keep GP and his agent under control. You might be right. Because I'm telling you now, boy, they are working overtime to try to convince George Pickens and the Cowboys that George ain't worth more than $30 million. That is crazy. Griff, I don't think he asked for $10 million. Brandon Aubrey's already said that stuff was a lie. I don't think he asked for $10 million. I think what he did is that the Cowboys came in there talking about $6.8 million, and he said no. I don't think he asked for $10 million. I believe that Brandon Aubrey's probably going to be somewhere close to $8 million. It'll be between 7.2, it'll be between 7.5 and $8 million. Now, Cowboys ain't resetting no market at no $10 million. I don't think the Cowboys, as much as I love Brandon Aubrey, Cowboys can't go over $8 million for Brandon Aubrey. That's just too much. That's too much. Because if you can get me to 8, then you can get me to 9. I can't let you go. I can't let you get me to 8. I can't let you do it. Can't let you do it. Angie the Rebel Chicks, destroy that budget. Shoot, that's what I said. Destroy that budget. You give a doggone about that thing. Do something that you ain't done in a long time. Destroy that budget. Care nothing about 2028. I'm going all in 2027 and I'm going all in this year in 2027. I don't care nothing about 2028. Might not even be alive by then. Man, I want you to go I want the Cowboys to go all in. All in. Every which way but loose. I don't care what. You can't take it with you. I don't care what they do with the team after. Jerry's mindset ought to be, I don't care what y'all do with the team after I'm gone. But I'm getting me a Super Bowl before I die. And I'm trying to get it this year and next year. That's what I'm saying if I'm Jerry Jones. Give a doggone. You can't ever go broke being the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Shoot. You're going to always have something to leave to your children. All right. Let's get to this next story. This next story is absolutely bonkers. This Maxx Crosby story is bonkers. And I told y'all about the Baltimore Ravens. These dudes are shiesty. Did I not tell y'all a couple of weeks ago? Dr. Cooper did not tell the Ravens to pass on Maxx Crosby. Dr. Cooper did not. I made that point then. I said, no way, Jose. The Baltimore Ravens front office are using everyone's imagination against them by saying, yeah, we let Dr. Cooper look at the report. And Dr. Cooper looked at the report, and then people's imagination started going, well, if Dr. Cooper looked at it, it must be bad on his knee. Really? I said it then. I do not believe for a second Dr. Cooper told the Baltimore Ravens not to get Maxx Crosby. And the reason why I don't believe it is because Dr. Cooper is responsible for the Cowboys getting doggone Jalen Smith. I will never believe that Dr. Cooper told the Cowboys not to get Maxx Crosby. This man convinced the Cowboys to bring in Jalen Smith, did the surgery, told the Cowboys he'll get back right. This man's nerves were all ripped up in the knee. And they went off of what Dr. Cooper said and still brought in Jalen Smith. He also was a part of the Savon Revel Jr. issue. Because if I'm not mistaken, he was a part of that surgery. Or looked at the records or whatever the case may be. There is no way I'm going to believe that Dr. Cooper told the Baltimore Ravens, don't get Maxx Crosby. And so now the story has come out. Now the story is coming all the way out. And I bet you now, I guarantee you now, the Raiders are regretting not taking the Dallas Cowboys offer. Man, let me tell y'all something. I did not, now that this is coming out, the Cowboys were aggressively going after Maxx Crosby. And I'm not sure, let me see. I'm going to see if I can find the actual thing that, because I've read quite a few articles on this. The Cowboys didn't go one time. The Cowboys went 3 times. They went after Maxx Crosby with 3 different deals, Cowboys fans. Cowboys were going in for Maxx Crosby. I'm trying to see, okay, let me see if this is it. The Cowboys were going crazy trying to get this dude, Maxx Crosby, man. They were going crazy trying to get Crosby. And the Raiders got, they saw those 2 first-round picks, and they said no. I don't understand. Why would you turn down the Cowboys? This is the insane part for me. The Ravens are in your conference. You'd rather give Maxx Crosby to the Ravens for a first rounder this year and a first rounder next year, rather than taking what the Cowboys were offering. I really believe what the Cowboys were offering was better than what the Baltimore Ravens offered. That's just my opinion. Demetrius Noel, he said the Ravens are dirty and classless. Yes, sir. Grabowski, he said the same doctor had fans believe the Rebel would be ready by week 1. He wound up playing him with the laughing. Yeah, that doctor right there, Grabowski. Yes, sir. It's that same Dr. Grabowski. Grabowski, I was telling James Slater the same thing. I told James Slater, man, I sent James Slater a reply. I said, James Slater, I'm sorry. You out here talking about Dr. Cooper, what Dr. Cooper said. I said, I know you only reporting James Slater, but this same Dr. Cooper convinced the Cowboys to bring in Jalen Smith and that he can rebuild his knee like the Bionic Man. Come on, man. And you just made another point. Yeah, Savon Revel Jr. is supposed to be ready in week 1. That same Dr. Cooper. Man, it was week 11. And you know what's even crazier, Rumbowski? Savon Revel Jr. is still got that stocking on his knee. Praying for Savon Revel Jr. I think Jerry Jones learned from that because Jerry Jones said that he was expecting too much. He was expecting these hurt players to come back and contribute. And they were trying to rush those players back, and those players, even when they came back, they were not effective. Savon Revel Jr. probably needed a redshirt year. But he got him some action in, so we'll see what happens. Bad said, I think Jerry knows Crosby to Dallas dominates the headline, so he uses that to keep the media talking about his team. I don't think he wants Crosby as bad as he did because Max is there for the taking now. Now, Baz, let me tell you this. According to what I'm hearing, he's not there for the taking yet because the Raiders and Maxx Crosby are singing Kumbaya right now. Maxx Crosby is saying he wants to be a Raider, and the Raiders are saying they're not changing their offer. Wait until draft night. I said it last week. I'm going to say it again. Wait until draft night. It's one thing when there's no draft going. It's another thing when the draft is going and you're seeing a player right there that you feel could be the replacement for Maxx Crosby with less money. You're going to do the same thing the Baltimore Ravens did. And if the Cowboys want him, you're going to shake him. Guaranteed. If they want him, they're going to shake him. Guaranteed. I'm not convinced Maxx Crosby is playing for the Raiders this year until after the draft. I'm not convinced. But let me read this real quick. This is funny. Freddie Morales, I mentioned you earlier, Freddie Morales. What's going on? Let's read this story over here. This is an incredible story, man. And I got to give it to the Cowboys. I got to repent somewhat on this because I was kind of doubting a little bit that the Cowboys really went after this, even though I thought the first and the third was really good enough. But if I'm repenting if I even doubted the Cowboys went for this. They went for it. They absolutely went for this. Ron Hanna, my man, what's going on? Glad you could check in. It says here, the Dallas Cowboys went for it. But in the end, they didn't offer enough to get Maxx Crosby in a trade from the Las Vegas Raiders. I think they did. Crosby, as everyone knows well, was in an agreed-upon trade that would send him from the Raiders to the Baltimore Ravens for 2 first-round picks. Before that trade could become official, the Ravens backed out. They cited medical reasons. Crosby had recently undergone knee surgery, and apparently something in the picture scared Baltimore enough to have second thoughts. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Nope. I've been reading up on this. They saw nothing. They saw nothing and heard nothing from Dr. Cooper that they had not heard before. Nothing. It's a total lie. The Ravens weren't the only team interested. It's been reported that the Dallas Cowboys wanted Crosby too. And now it's known more about what they offered. It says initial offers centered on Dallas. Second first round pick at number 20 and defensive tackle Odigizua. Now, if you ask me, I think that was a pretty good deal. But that's kind of where you start the negotiation. So I see what the Cowboys were doing. Cowboys threw that line out there and they say, okay, let's see if they'll bite. Because we already want to trade Odigizua. The Cowboys had already made their mind up on Odigizua. It's pretty obvious. So the Cowboys throw that bait out there. Okay, we're going to give you that number 20. This is the one that got me, though. This is the one that got me. The Cowboys offered their top first round pick at number 12 and a third round pick? What? Hold on a second. Let me check something out. Let me see something here. I'm trying to see what their draft picks are for 2020, this 2026 season. What? Okay. So can y'all help me? Tell me, does this make sense to y'all? So they turned down the number 12 overall pick. And let me make sure. So the third round pick would have been next season. Okay, so I see where that is. That would have been next season. They turned down the third round pick for next season, but the Cowboys offered them the number 12 pick. Now, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but I'm just thinking that the number 12, at least in my math, I just think the number 12 pick is better than the number 14 pick. I just think the number 12 pick is better than the number 14 pick. Now, where the Ravens trumped them, though, was the 14 this year and then who knows what next year. So the Cowboys came back after they offered the 12 and the third. It says the Cowboys moved to the number 12 and their second round pick. The number 12 and their second round pick. Sources said did not include Odigizua, who was traded to the 49ers for that third round pick. But they offered their number 12 and their second round pick. The Ravens came back and offered 2 first round picks, but the Cowboys didn't do it. I don't know, man. It'd have been hard for me to pass that number 12 for the Cowboys. So I don't know. Maybe they did some scouting and thought it over and said that number 12, that number 12 and that number 2 next year, the Cowboys may be good, and that number 2 may be further back at the back end of the draft. But nevertheless, Cowboys offered them a number 12, and the Cowboys offered them the number 2 for the next year. And so it says here, those aren't bad offers. I would dare say those aren't bad offers either, because there was no way the Cowboys should have gave up a 12 and a 20. Ain't no doggone way. It says, but they wound up taking the Baltimore Ravens with those 2 first-round picks. And I got another part of this article here, too, that's absolutely crazy. Let me see if this is on this part of the article, because this is the part that really stuck out to me. Let me go in here. I was looking at this today. Let me see. In the article that I read, in case I don't find it. But the crazy thing is, in this Maxx Crosby issue, is that now it has come to the light that Dr. Cooper didn't tell the Baltimore Ravens pretty much anything that they didn't already know. They were trying to convince us that Dr. Cooper is the one, because when people were talking about this, I remember everybody was talking about, yeah, the Dallas Cowboys doctor is one of the guys that came in and talked about it, and he's one of the foremost in this whole field, and if he said it's a bad deal, then the Ravens shouldn't take it. But when did he say it was a bad deal? It basically said in the article, and I might have the wrong one here, so I can't find it where I had it. But it basically said in the article that Dr. Cooper didn't really tell them anything. He told them what they already knew, but he really didn't tell them anything. They want us to believe that Dr. Cooper said, don't get Maxx Crosby. He never told them that. He never told them that. He never told them, don't do it. Never did it. Here it is right here. Watch this. Let me show you how these people duped everybody. It says, look, during Crosby's eventual meeting with mentor and DaCosta, he said the energy felt off. He then grew terrified after DaCosta informed him that one of the doctors had concerns about his knee, and they wanted to get additional opinions. I watched the podcast on this, and Maxx Crosby's response was incredible, because Maxx Crosby said that after they told him this part, he said he was scared because he thought his own doctor had lied to him. He said that he thought they had actually discovered something that wasn't discovered before. And people were actually saying, yeah, man, they went in there and discovered something that they hadn't seen before. Lies. Lies. It says, in addition to their own doctors, the Ravens had a handful of doctors outside the organization weigh in on Crosby's knee, including Dan Cooper, a renowned knee specialist and the Cowboys team doctor in the past. Dallas had leaned on Cooper's expertise in making decisions on such as drafting Jalen Smith. Wait a minute. Didn't they draft Jalen Smith? How you going to tell somebody to draft Jalen Smith, but tell the Baltimore Ravens to pass on Maxx Crosby? Stop it. This is stupid, man. It's stupid. It says, despite torn ligaments and nerve damage, and drafting Savon Revel Jr. last year in the 3rd round, despite a torn ACL. Stop this madness. Look at this. This is the line that they put right here. I love how they isolated it. But Cooper was not the primary voice in determining whether Baltimore should back out the deal. No! No way! No way Dr. Cooper wasn't the primary voice. The same one that told the Cowboys to draft Jalen Smith. The same one that told the Cowboys that it was safe to draft Savon Revel Jr. No way Dr. Cooper wasn't the primary voice in telling you not to get Maxx Crosby. Stop it. These people crazy. I told y'all when this happened, these people were crazy. And it's funny to me because this line right here, it reads almost like the response that I gave James Slater. It reads almost identical. Because I was like, Jane, come on. I know you just reporting, but ain't no way you're buying this. There's no way you buying this. It says the consensus was that Crosby would be able to play in 2026. The Ravens' concern entered into the uncertainty of Crosby's durability after a couple of seasons in Baltimore because of a degenerative issue in his knee, a source told ESPN. Tell me again why you're caring about 2 seasons from now? I don't care nothing about 2 seasons from now. If the Cowboys bring in Maxx Crosby, if the Cowboys were to bring in Maxx Crosby, do y'all think I'm thinking about 2028? What? I don't care nothing about no 2028. If that doctor would tell me, because I got a strange feeling. Cowboy fans, I'm not a gambler. I'm not a gambler. I got a strange feeling. Had the Cowboys, had the Bears, had the Eagles, had the Bills. Had any one of those 4 teams got Maxx Crosby, Maxx Crosby would still be with those teams. Guaranteed. He'd still be with those teams. There is no way. If they would have told the Cowboys that Maxx Crosby could play good for 2 years, Gerald Jones would have said, bring him on in. Guarantee you. Because I would say the same thing. Care nothing about no 2028. Yeah, he's not going to be able to play. It's going to get bad in 2028. But in 2026 and 2027, he should be fine. He should be more than fine. Yeah, bring him in. I'm signing Maxx Crosby to a 3-year deal, 2-year guarantee. I don't give a doggone if I got to pay him $60 million over 2 years. I'll give him a 3-year deal, $60 million guaranteed, where I can get out of that deal in 2 years. That's exactly what I would have done. And I believe Jerry would have did the same thing. And I believe other teams would have did the same thing. I don't care nothing about. Care nothing about no 2028, 2029. That's on Maxx Crosby. I'm bringing in Maxx Crosby for right now. RATNOW, right now. I care nothing about this. I care nothing about no 2028, 2029. Let Maxx Crosby worry about what he's going to be doing at 34. He ain't going to be here. He ain't going to be here. Hot boy. Dallas did pull the trigger. Dallas wasn't willing to give up 2 first-round picks. They did pull the trigger. And the Cowboys were not going to, because, hot boy, you got to understand what happened. Even Maxx Crosby talked about this. The Baltimore Ravens absolutely sabotaged Maxx Crosby. They sabotaged him. Because, hot boy, teams kept calling about Maxx Crosby. The issue is they were calling about Maxx Crosby saying, hey, man, Baltimore backed out on the deal, so we'll still give you the deal, but we're not giving you the same deal. Of course they tried to pull the trigger. The Cowboys are not going back to at least at this point in time, they're not going back with the same deal. Edge, we talked about this a few weeks ago. Throw smoke in the barn. Throw smoke in the barn. Hot boy, why give up what you were going to give up before when now you probably don't have to? Nope. Now that Baltimore is backed out, you sit back and wait until draft night. Because draft night does some things to people. Sit back and wait to draft night. Because you will more than likely be able to get Maxx Crosby for less on draft night. I got a feeling the Raiders are going to be fielding some calls, and the Raiders may be making some calls. They may be making some calls. So now that the Ravens have done what they've done, because this is what Maxx Crosby was talking about. They sabotaged this man. That once they did that, it didn't matter what was said after that. Every team was going to use that against Maxx Crosby, even if it wasn't true. Even if it wasn't true. And hot boy, teams have been calling about Maxx Crosby. Absolutely, they've been calling about Maxx Crosby. Maxx Crosby has said that he doesn't want to go to a team now. And we're going to see how this goes. But that has been the talk. He doesn't want to go to another team. And right now, the Raiders are saying they don't want him to go to another team. At least this is what they're saying. This is what they're saying. But I'm sure what everybody is doing is they're sitting back saying, man, we ain't got to pay that for Maxx Crosby. Let me tell you something, hot boy. And I'm sure you already know this. Man, let me tell you something. You don't ever want anybody to put a lie out there about you. You don't ever want anybody to put a lie out there about hot boy. You don't never want anybody to put a lie out there about you. Because if they put a lie out there about you to sabotage you, even if it's not true, people believe lies quicker than the truth. They believe lies quicker than the truth. And some people, even when they don't believe the lie, they'll use the lie to get what they want. Well, you know what they said. Yeah, I know what they said, because this is what they're, look at this. Hot boy, look at this. They put this out too. I've heard nobody say this, but this is what they're putting out there. Where's this coming from? It says an ESPN deep dive regarding the failed Maxx Crosby trade reports. The Ravens were concerned about a degenerative issue in his knee that would have impacted his long-term availability. Does the NFL not have HIPAA laws? Who told? How did they deep dive? Somebody tell me how they deep dove. How did ESPN deep dive into the Maxx Crosby case? I'm telling you now, if I was his team, I would have my lawyers. Because I want to know who told you. I want to know who told you. Come on, man. Everybody had a full understanding of what's going on. Everybody had a full understanding of what's going on with this man's knee. Everybody knows. Hi, boy, everybody is going to play the game now. It is what it is. They're going to play the game now. They're going to play the game. Amen. Hey, they talking about you got degenerative knee disease. Hey, look at the reports. It's not true. I know what you're saying, man, but this is what they're saying. You know, Dr. Cooper was a part of this. Man, these people are running game. Hi, boy. Let's wait and see what happened on draft night. That's all I'm telling you. That's all I'm telling you. Let's wait and see what happened on draft night. Let's wait and see what happened on draft night. Because I'm telling you right now, the Raiders can tell me anything they want to. Oh, no, we not gonna trade Maxx Crosby, man. We want Maxx Crosby. Keep on saying that. Wait on the draft night. Them new young players you can have for 5 years, 4 years, 2 franchise tags. Don't got to worry about another year or 2 down the line. Something else happened. You say you don't want to be an Oakland Raider again. Nah, man. Nah. Watch what happened on draft night, y'all. Wait until the smoke clears. Wait until the smoke clears. But if I'm Maxx Crosby, I'm so furious with the Ravens right now. I'm so furious. But he can't sue him. Can't sue him. Can't sue him. Can't sue him because of the NFL. The NFL don't want this kind of stuff. They don't want Maxx Crosby suing the Baltimore Ravens. They don't want him doing that. So he's not going to do it. So the only thing that Maxx Crosby can do is take it. That's all he can do. All he can do is take it. It is insane to me what the Ravens have done to Maxx Crosby. But I'll tell you this, Cowboys fans, draft night's going to be exciting. I'm throwing a party. Draft night going to be exciting. Anything goes. Anything can happen on draft night. Woo! Man, I'm excited. I got a feeling that Maxx going to get moved. I have a feeling that Maxx is going to get moved. I do. I believe he's going to get moved. The Raiders can say anything they want to. I don't think they're going to keep him. Teams are going to come back and they're going to start throwing them backdoor deals on the Raiders. Hey, you know y'all stuck with him, right? You know y'all stuck with Maxx Crosby. You better get with him while you can. I'm telling you, man, if they want to get rid of Maxx Crosby, it's going to be draft night. And I got a feeling there are going to be some teams out there trying to get Maxx Crosby. But unfortunately for the Raiders, they're going to get him for way cheaper. I bet y'all right now, how much y'all bet? I'm not a betting man. How much y'all bet? How much y'all bet the Raiders wish they would have took that Cowboys deal? How much y'all bet they wish they'd have took that Cowboys deal? Because I'm going to tell you now, I don't believe Jerry reneges on that deal. Nope. Jerry don't renege on that deal. He is not reneging on that deal. Nope. Jerry would have kept Maxx Crosby. Jerry would have kept Maxx Crosby. I don't care if Maxx Crosby would have had to come in the middle of the season. Jerry would have kept Maxx Crosby. Jerry would have kept him because Maxx Crosby is an all-in right now move. So now Maxx Crosby, no, he's back with the Raiders. He's rehabbing. He's in the building, all those different things. But I'm not sold until after the draft. I'm not sold until after the draft that he's going to be with the Raiders. I'm not even telling you the Cowboys are going to get him. I'm just not convinced that he's going to still be with the Raiders. I'm not convinced. Because Maxx Crosby can actually say he wants to stay with the Raiders all he wants to. That doesn't mean that the Raiders want him to stay with them. And that don't mean that if somebody comes and give them a great offer that they're not going to take it. It don't mean that. They were trying to shake him in the first place. Get that money off the salary cap. What would stop him from still doing it? Man, this Maxx Crosby thing, it's got some legs to it. It has got some legs to it. It's funny, man. It's funny to me. But again, you're not going to see a lawsuit or anything like that in place because the NFL doesn't want that kind of stuff. It'd be a black eye on the NFL. But I do think the NFL needs to put some things in place maybe and tighten up this quote unquote. They need to tighten up this, whatever you call it, legal tampering period. I'll be honest with you. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the chat. Man, the NFL needs to stop this nonsense. Man, go ahead and start the draft on Monday. Stop this old stupid stuff, man. You've already really started it on Monday anyway. Man, go ahead and start this stuff on Monday. Stop this old dumb 2 days of tampering, legal tampering. Oh, it makes sense. Those two things are actually oxymorons. How is it legal and you're tampering? Because tampering is supposed to be illegal. Come on, man. Stop that illegal tampering stuff. Go ahead and start free agency on that Monday. Go ahead and start that. Go ahead and start it on that Monday. Hot boy, I tell you this. Go check out that Maxx Crosby podcast. Maxx Crosby gave the gospel on that thing, man. And like Maxx Crosby said, why would he lie? I don't see why he would. All right, let's move over here to this other news for the Cowboys. Oh, man.
Here we go.
I'm telling y'all something. Jerry Jones has not exactly busted the budget yet. Angie the Rebel Chicks, Niecy, Queen, Bass, Ron Hanna, Dominique Pittman, everybody in the chat. We still waiting on Jerry Jones to bust the budget, and Jerry Jones hasn't quite busted the budget, but I think Jerry is still trying to figure out ways to bust the budget. But we better start counting George Pickens and Brandon Aubrey in there, because I think they're going to count that when they have the opening of this season press conference. But the Cowboys went and did a good thing today. Cowboys went and picked up Derion Kendrick. The Cowboys went and picked up Derion Kendrick. And let me tell you about Derion Kendrick in case you don't know about this kid. Derion Kendrick had a couple of pretty good years with the Rams. He wound up getting a knee injury in 2024. So last year, he didn't play a whole lot because he's 1 year removed away from that knee injury. This is a very, very low-risk move for the Cowboys. It's a low-risk, high-reward. It's not the Kyer Elam move. I believe this is better than the Kyer Elam move. You got to realize the Rams run a similar style of defense like Christian Parker is trying to run. So he's going to fit right in with what the Cowboys are trying to do. And this Kendrick kid can play zone. He can play zone. Derion Kendrick is really, really good in zone. And I'm going back to something that Jerry Jones said during that combine on the bus press conference. Jerry Jones said, we got to anticipate what could happen, because Jerry basically was saying that what we didn't anticipate for 2 years in a row is what could happen. And so we really didn't focus enough on the depth. I mean, come on, man. Poobie D, you remember when the Cowboys had Triquez Bridges out there against the Denver Broncos? Man, Sean Payton, Triquez Bridges needs to, he should have checked his uniform that day. Because I really believe Sean Payton had one of them Apple tags on Triquez Bridges. I believe they had one of them Apple tags on Triquez Bridges. Because after Triquez Bridges got, I believe, that interception early in that game, Sean Payton got so mad. Everywhere Triquez Bridges was, Sean Payton made sure that's where they threw the ball. The Cowboys have got, they had to fix the Triquez Bridges issue. Had to fix it. Had to fix the Triquez Bridges thing. Triquez Bridges was the epitome of what was wrong with the Cowboys. And so this kid, Kendricks, he fits right into what the Cowboys want to do. This kid, Kendrick is going to be able to, if the Cowboys need him, he's going to be able to come off the bench. If somebody was to get hurt, he'll probably be able to play special teams. He'll be able to do quite a few things for the Cowboys. It don't mean he's a starter. Doesn't mean he was a starter. Rombowski, yeah, I'm gonna use Mighty Does as a matter of fact right now. He said he analyzed a play for Kendrick that probably got him a butt chewing in the cornerback room come film time. That wasn't quite a highlight play to me. But the thing is, Kendrick can play. Ed just said, gee, y'all said Bridges was better than Diggs. Well, he was better than Diggs during the injury time. But Angie, you know what? Angie, now let's be honest. Angie, do you think Diggs would fit in with what the Cowboys are doing right now, that they're gonna be running primarily zone? But even then, I get where you're coming from, Angie. Diggs, I don't think was ready. Now, Angie, in my own defense, I was one of the only people that was defending Diggs from this standpoint. Diggs wasn't healthy. I said that all season long and people didn't like it. Angie, I just truly believe Diggs wasn't healthy. I believe that was one of Diggs' biggest issues, was not healthy. Diggs been pretty quiet. I'm very excited to see if Diggs goes to a team and play this year. Get that knee right, get his body right, and see what he does. Mark Davis said, I'm late, but I had to tune in to the best channel on YouTube. Appreciate you, my guy. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Angie, I said it the whole season. I said Diggs is not healthy. People don't understand the procedure that Diggs had. Diggs wasn't healthy. But Angie, I also think this is a part of that Jerry Jones problem he was talking about. They were wanting these players who were injured back on the field too quick. And so now the Cowboys seem to be figuring in what happens if Deron Bland isn't ready. What happens if Savon Revel Jr. isn't ready? I believe the Cowboys are doing exactly like I said I thought they should do. Prepare like these players who are not ready. You need to go into free agency like they're not going to be ready. You need to go into the draft like they're not going to be ready. And so we see now that the Cowboys have went and got this kid by the name of Derion, I think it's Derion Kendrick. So let me show you a few stats on him from show you a few stats on him. He was it looked like he was pretty good when he was with the Rams. Wound up getting an injury, whatever the case may be. This was him with the Rams. Oh, Angie, you said Bridges played Angie, I'm sorry. Bridges didn't play like he was injured. Bridges played like he wasn't supposed to be playing in the NFL right now. That's how Bridges was playing. Angie, Bridges need a lot of work. Bridges need a lot of work. A lot of work. A lot of work. And it just shows you the depths of where the Cowboys sank last year. After, with the Kyrie. And a big part of that, too, I think, was some of that Matt Eberflus stuff. It was terrible. Now, when you look at this kid, Derion Kendrick, he's out of Georgia. I think he was a 6th-round draft pick. Derion Kendrick can play. Played for the Rams. First season, rookie season, 43 tackles, 36 solo, 7 assisted. Second season, 49 tackles, 41 solo, 8 assisted. He had 1 interception. He came back in 2024. The reason why you see a blank there, he was hurt. He came back in 2025. Came back with the Rams. Looked like he only played 5 games. And I think he played pretty sparingly. 3 tackles. All 3 of them were solo. He got traded to the Seahawks. 7 tackles, 4 solo, 3 assists, 1 tackle for loss. So, and he had, let's see here, 2 interceptions. He can make some plays. And I think he's going to fit in perfectly with what this Christian Parker defense is going to do. He seems like a very, very smart player. Kippy! What's going on, Kippy? Kippy, I don't think you're a Trayvon Diggs fan. Tell me if that's true or false. Lock and D, I agree with you. The Cowboys got some dogs. I don't think Derion Kendrick is the equivalent to Kyer Elam. I think he's going to be much, much better. And the cool thing is, we'll be ready in case something happened. We may not even need him. Gravedigger said the coach from Georgia helped recruit Kendrick to Georgia also. Okay, got you. Yeah, Rockstar, I agree with you. He be in the right spots. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, Christian Parker loves Georgia guys. Hey, man, they some dogs over there, man. No pun intended. They are some dogs over there. So let's pull up some film that Matty Dubs has done on him. I like the highlights that Matty Dubs did on him. If we get some more, I'll bring you those tomorrow, too. Private Ray said, what do I do about my Diggs jersey? Man, I would say you probably want to frame it. I'd say frame it. Yeah, Frame that Diggs jersey, man. Cause you won't be, you know, me and my sons, we had to get on to my younger son. He was running around wearing a jersey of what's the basketball player that used to play for the San Antonio Spurs with the big hands? Y'all remind me of who he is, and then I'll tell you about the jersey. I'll tell you about the jersey.
Dallas Cowboys have just.
All right, let's look at these plays. Ron Bowski said he gonna keep on wearing his Jalen Tolbert jersey. Well, I tell you this, you better not let Angie the Rebel Chick see you on the street in no Jalen Tolbert jersey. She might come up with a box cutter and rip it to pieces. Frank Lawrence, he said Bland will have all them trying to cover wearing church shoes. Man, Bland better, Bland better retire them church shoes. Hey, yes, that's it, Java. That's it, Java. We were roasting my son last year. He running around here with a Kawhi Leonard jersey on. Running around here with a Kawhi Leonard San Antonio Spurs jersey on. We like, boy, you better run out of here with that thing, boy. Better get your butt up out of here. You probably want to frame them old jerseys, man. All right, let me read this super chat, then we go check out this tape on Derion Kendrick. L. Jugi, he said Diggs was too busy being on the Shy Glizzy concert. He was at that. Boy, I remember that, boy. Boy, I remember he was at that Shy Glizzy concert last year, boy. It was crazy. Oh, man. Angie said nobody bought no Tolbert jersey. Stop it. Oh, man. Boy, Rob Basketball, stop and talk about George the Iceman girl. Boy, you better stop. All right, let's check out this Kendrick, man. Derion Kendrick. Let's check him out.
Just made a very intriguing signing with former Seattle Seahawks DB Derion Kendrick. He is on his way to the Dallas Cowboys, someone that I actually like as someone who can fill in a much-needed depth role within this Dallas Cowboy organization. First thing you notice when you look at him is he can play on the boundary if you need him to, but he can also play in the nickel or the slot if you want him there as well. And right here, he's sitting in this kind of Tampa 2 defense where he's dropping back, but his eyes always remain on the quarterback. Now, route concept-wise, they got this crosser over the middle. They got another crosser here, a little bit of an out. They got like the stop route to the top or bottom side, and then they got this deep side dig with Roman Wilson. Now, look at Kendrick here. He's dropping back in his hook curl, but his eyes always remain on the quarterback. And Aaron Rodgers, right? He is looking straight down at that deep side dig route, thinking he can get this over Kendrick, but Kendrick.
Now, let me tell you one of the things, just looking at these few plays, I'm pretty sure more will come out about Kendrick. But one of the things that I've noticed on everything I've seen him on, he really plays his zones well. And I think where you get these players who like to play man, where they struggle in zone, is that they're still trying to play man in zone. One thing I've noticed about him watching his plays, he doesn't play the player as much as he's playing his zone. He knows exactly where he's supposed to be. And so he stays in that zone. So if you try to get anything in that area, you're going to have a hard time. So I like what he does. I like what he does here. Just check him out.
Lengthy player.
He
now,
stays in it.
And
you know, back in the day, Aaron Rodgers probably would have made a better throw here. I mean, this is just not the same Aaron. But this is just somebody playing their zone. It's just bottom line. And I think where Cowboys players last year were getting confused, they were not playing their zones. They were just too stuck on trying to play a man. But in zone, you're not really playing the man as much as you're playing in your zone, and you're stopping the man that gets in your zone. And so in every one of these plays we're going to see with him, you're going to see the same thing. He gets in his zone, and he keeps his eyes in the backfield.
Remain on the quarterback, and Aaron Rodgers, right? He is looking straight down at that deep side dig route, thinking he can get this over Kendrick, but Kendrick,
he just stays in his
player.
zone.
Now, this ultimately probably should have been the easiest interception of Kendrick's life, but really what I want to showcase to you guys, the easiest interception.
It really required an accurate throw, because if you ask me, where Aaron Rodgers, and I guess he doesn't see him, but where Aaron probably should have put that pass is right there, right about here, because I don't think he nor these guys could make this play. But I guess at the same time, that wide receiver is set down on the route, so I guess it is what it is. But he tries to make that throw. He just sits in his zone. Sits in his zone, makes the play.
Kendrick's life. But really what I want to showcase to you guys is he's good in zone.
Now, he got some butter hands, that's for sure. He got some butter fingers, but that's why he's a defensive back. He's not really a wide receiver. Jeremy Betts, have a good night. You know, he probably should have had interceptions on every one of these plays, but he plays his zones well.
Coverage, he can play in the inside, he can play on the outside, he gives you good depth. Now, when you look at the Dallas Cowboys and what they've done so far this offseason, right, you have Siobhan Revel, who dealt with an injury. Derion Kendrick is going to right away give you more depth than you had coming in.
Yeah, he's a really good depth piece.
A ton of snaps. This is 2025 player pro.
Yeah, I'm with you, Rombowski. Man, Rombowski, I think he missed every one of these interceptions. I think he missed every one of these interceptions, because as far as playing the position, he can play it, but he can't make those big. He's got to get better at catching the ball. There it is, Rockstar. He be in the right place. He just got to finish. Oh, I see. Ape Life, he said he played wide receiver at Clemson before. I see why you said he played wide receiver, because his hands are not there. His hands are not there. But as far as his instinct goes, man, he's in the right spot.
Actually pretty unreal. Solid play here.
Here's another one. Man, he plays his zone well. He plays his zone well. Watch this. Ice Wild Cowboy, he said he glad he done a Cowboy receiver. Boy, I'm with you, Ice Wild. Because he can make plays. He just can't finish them. Check him out.
By Kendrick right here, bottom side. He's going to be sitting in, once again, a zone coverage. As we drop back again, eyes scream right back to the quarterback.
Now, this is the thing that blows my mind about him. He doesn't play the man. He plays his zone. I think this is where the Cowboys struggled last year in the defensive backfield. They were caught between trying to play man and zone. Play your zone first. Play your zone first. And if that man comes in your zone, then you pick him up. If he's out of your zone, you stay in your zone. He plays his zone well. Keeps his eyes on the quarterback, trying to make plays.
I know where he's looking, when he's looking there, and how, if we can jump something, how we can make this work. So right away, you see he plays his zone really damn well. Passes everything off. Even chases this route down the sideline, knowing that there's nothing else in his zone here. So let me just do the best thing and follow.
I mean, he's almost got eyes in the side and the back of his head, because it's crazy to me. He doesn't just sit down on this route. He keeps his eyes in the backfield and simultaneously turns and starts running as this defensive back runs past him. Just check out how he does this.
This works. So right away, you see he plays his zone really damn well. Passes everything off. Even
he keeps his eyes in the backfield, and then he's going to start running. Why? It's simple. He understands the zone. He understands the zone. If the quarterback is going to come here, he's going to get this underneath or whatever. This guy's going to get this underneath. If he goes down, the safety can go up. This guy can come up. I mean, he just understands zone. This is where we were struggling last year. We just didn't know what we were doing in zone. We just didn't know what we were doing. This guy understands it.
Is this route down the sideline, knowing that there's
got
nothing
his eyes
else
on the quarterback
in his zone here, so let me just do the best thing and follow the closest guy, right? So he does that.
I mean, this dude got eyes in the back of his head. He's got eyes in the back of his head. He's watching him, but he's watching the quarterback too.
Eyes are still on the quarterback. He never turns fully, plays zone really, really well, and ends up making a beautiful play here. Another interception.
Dude got eyes in the back of his head, man. Dude got eyes in the back of his head. Now, Bash, you said no hands, what's the use? I'm going to tell you this. If you told me that I had a choice between a super athlete with hands who didn't understand play concepts and an athlete with no hands but understands the concepts, I'm going to choose that athlete who understands the concepts without the hands. Why? Because I can teach you how to catch. Now, I'm not going to teach you how to be Jerry Rice or Randy Moss. I can teach you how to catch, though. I can teach you how to catch. You can improve someone's hands, but instinct is hard to teach. Instinct is hard to teach. This kid's got instinct. This is why they got him. It's obvious he's got instinct. This dude's got eyes in the back of his head, man. This dude's got eyes in the back of his head.
Interception, or not another interception, but another big time play on the ball in the air. I really
like Gronkowski. That's another one. Should have had an interception. I mean, the dude got eyes in the back of his head, man. Watch this next play. Dude got eyes in the back of his head.
One more play versus Tyler Shuck here in New Orleans. They're going to be running this speed out to the sideline with Chris Olave. Once again, Kendrick sitting in this zone, gets to where he needs to be, looks right back at the quarterback.
This dude is insanity when you look at how he's playing this. He's not playing the receiver. This is where we were struggling. We kept trying to pick up the receiver in zone. Play your zone. That's why it's called zone. That's why it's called zone. Play your zone. Watch this part. Trust the other players on the team. They have a part of the zone they got to play too. You got to trust the players. You got to trust that your players know the zone too. Play your zone. Don't worry about another man's zone. This dude got eyes in the back of his head. He understands. I got to play my zone. I got to play my zone. Watch what he does. Immediately, he runs right to his zone. He's not focused on the player. He's focused on his zone. He keeps his eyes on the quarterback and he gets in his zone. Watch this. He's getting in his zone without even looking. This is crazy.
Kendrick sitting in this zone, gets to where he
right
needs
to
to
his
be,
zone.
Looks right
looking
back
at the quarterback.
Quarterback tries to layer this over him, but again, lengthy corner. He's going to be able to...
Boom! Hey, man, I can teach you how to catch. Bottom line, I promise you I can. I can teach you how to catch. What I can't teach you is what we're looking at on this dude tape. I can't teach you that part. I can teach you where you're supposed to be. That don't mean you're going to do it. This dude's got some great instinct. He's got some great instinct. If you're telling me this is a backup, bravo, Cowboys. Bravo. If you're telling me this dude is a backup, bravo. He's got some instincts. We're finally doing something smart.
Lengthy.
Stop getting players that don't fit the system. This is another place that Diggs was struggling. Angie, Diggs might could have played better. But Diggs is more of a man corner. Diggs don't want to play zone. Diggs don't want to play no doggone zone. Diggs wants to play mano-o-mano. Bottom line, this guy here can play zone. It is amazing. Just look at the simplicity. He's not playing the receiver. He's playing his zone.
Once again, Kendrick sitting in this zone, gets to
Look,
where
he just gets to his zone. He's not worried. And this quarterback, oh, he's got some nerves. He got some nerves because he's saying, oh, I can get this ball over his head. I can get this ball over his head. And I'm going to tell you something about quarterbacks too. Quarterbacks, they don't always see defensive backs in zones. They are just throwing sometimes to a spot. And some of them are so cocky. Dak Prescott is one of those cocky quarterbacks. Dak Prescott says, I can throw it anywhere and beat you. And he does it a lot. Dak Prescott does it a lot. Dak Prescott throws passes that make you go, he threw that? Dak will zip a ball right through 2 or 3 defenders. That's right through their eyesight. I mean, Dak does this on a regular basis. But that requires a lot of practice and a lot of skill. This guy thinks he can get this over the same way Aaron Rodgers did. But this guy has zone discipline. Doesn't look back at the receiver. He goes to his zone, keeps his eye on the quarterback, and then he says, I dare you.
Needs to be, looks right back at the quarterback. Quarterback tries to layer this
Watch his
over,
vertical.
but again, lengthy corner.
Watch his vertical.
He's gonna be able to
boom! You can't teach this. You can't teach this. Nice. Bravo. Nice little pickup. And the reason why it's a great pickup is because he fits what it seems like Christian Parker came from. This is what he wants to do. I love it. I love it.
Get up and deflect these balls. Low key, if you guys
problem is we got to get this dude to catch some of these.
Really think about
Somebody
it,
said in the
this
chat,
man
put him on them
probably
jug
should have had, like,
machines.
4 to 5 interceptions and 90
man on
coverage
these jug
sacks, okay?
machines, man.
So if you think about it, you're getting someone who can just...
One of the things that an NFL player taught me, and I taught my sons the same thing, if you want to catch the football better, get you some tennis balls, walk around and squeeze those tennis balls all day, every day. Just squeeze tennis balls. Man, it'll get your hands so sticky, your fingers, the moment something to hit your fingers. Get you some tennis balls, squeeze those tennis balls. It'll really, really help you with your hands. And these days, these guys are wearing sticky gloves. I mean, you should be able to catch everything. Man, everybody should be one-hand catching passes with these gloves on.
Having a 7-8 interception type of season, potentially. Again, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but...
Yeah, man. Derion Kendrick. Derion Kendrick. I like what the Cowboys have done with this. I'm not hyping him up. I'm not hyping him up. I'm not telling y'all he's about to come in and take the run, blend spot, and elevate all the way to a top 5 cornerback. All I'm telling you is this guy is going, and the thing that I like, he's going to challenge some people. If you're not playing up to par, he's gonna challenge you. He's gonna challenge you. I like it. Rockstar, hey, Rockstar Shaq, he said, get them jug machines. Yes, sir. Get on them jug machines. Frank Lawrence said, gee, imagine how many jerseys Jerry gonna sell. Cowboys Nation will go wild when we move up to sign Jeremiah Love. Frank Lawrence. You know what, man? I don't think they're gonna be able to get Jeremiah Love, man. Let me tell you something. Let's shift. As a matter of fact, since we're about to talk about the draft, let's go over here. Let's talk about Schotty in this draft.
Yes! Here we go.
Let me throw something up real quick. Abe Live, he said, you know ball, OG. Man, let me tell you something. My high school, we had some NFL players there. They wound up going to the NFL. And that was one of the things one of them taught me, man. He could catch really, really good. And I was like, man, how do you catch the ball so good? He's like, man, get you some tennis balls. Get you some tennis balls. And it did it for me. Man, it'll get your hands so, man, you'll have hands like Spider-Man. The only thing you won't be able to do is crawl up a building. Boy, you'll have hands like Spider-Man. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. Get you a can of tennis balls and walk around and squeeze them all day. You'll see what happens. Let me read this. Make sure I got these. Frank Lawrence. Yeah, evident we got our man, Christian Parker. Yeah, man. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do another story on him as we get closer to the draft. Yeah, pro car care. He said, I like what I see in him, G. I do too. I do. I like what I see, man. I like it, but he got it, man. He gotta get on them jug machines, get him a can of tennis balls, man. He'll be ready to go. He'll be ready to go. But I like what I'm seeing. Christian said the best coverage cornerback ever was Darrelle Revis. Boy, I tell you what. Well, I think the best cover corner for me was Deion Sanders. Boy, that boy Darrelle was close, man. That boy Darrelle was, boy, they didn't call him Revis Island for nothing, man. They didn't call that boy Revis Island for nothing. He was off the chain. Frank Lawrence. Let's go over here and look a little bit at this draft thing again. I'm going to tell you something that might help the Dallas Cowboys in this draft. And I'm cheering on, a lot of people are not doing this, but Cowboys Nation, let me tell you something. I am cheering on Dan Orlovsky. I am cheering Dan Orlovsky. Dan Orlovsky is putting out there in the atmosphere. Dan Orlovsky is out there saying that this quarterback by the name of Ty Simpson out of Alabama is better than Fernando Mendoza. He's out here telling people this. And I'll be honest with you. I hope all these teams, I hope they all believe Dan Orlovsky. I hope they believe Dan Orlovsky. The reason why I am praying that they believe Dan Orlovsky is because if they are truly believing Dan Orlovsky, Frank Lawrence, guess what happens? That means another offensive player is inserted before the Cowboys. Please, everybody listen. Please, NFL teams, please listen to Dan Orlovsky. Please put another quarterback. Please, Arizona. Arizona, go in there and get a quarterback. I would love Arizona to go in there and get a quarterback. Arizona, go get a quarterback. New Orleans Saints, go get a quarterback. Please go get a quarterback. Because if we can get Ty Simpson up in here, this Francis Mauigoa, somebody's going to say, I want Francis Mauigoa. Somebody's going to want him. Whether it be the New York Giants, whether it be somebody in front of Dallas, I believe, will want him. That means that somebody with the name of Reese, Love, Styles, Bain Jr., Downs, or Delane is going to fall to the Dallas Cowboys. The more players we get in front up there, the more offensive players we get up there, the easier it will be for the Cowboys to get who they want. I'm hoping the Cowboys in the first round with that number 12 pick, I'm actually hoping for Mansour Delane. That's who I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for Mansour Delane. I'm hoping Mansour Delane falls to the Cowboys. If there is anybody that needs an offensive lineman, it is the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals need an offensive lineman so bad it is pitiful. Because if they don't, Joe Burrow won't last another 2 to 3 years. Joe Burrow would love for them to go up there and get Francis. Man, go get Francis. Hey, add Ty Simpson. Arizona, go get Ty Simpson. Cincinnati, shock everybody and get you an offensive lineman. The Miami Dolphins, they're going to get Cornell Tate. There's probably no doubt about it. I would love for Mansour Delane to fall to the Dallas Cowboys. I hope they all, and Dan Orlowski said he's been calling teams. He said in most of the teams he's been calling, they've been saying they also believe that Ty Simpson is better than Fernando Mendoza. Well, I'll tell you this. Cowboy fans, we don't care if it's true. I don't have no dog in that fight. I don't even care if it's true, Cowboys Nation. I just hope somebody believe it. I just hope somebody in front of us believe it. I don't care if it's true or not. I want another offensive player or maybe even two. I want a couple of players inserted up here in front of the Cowboys. Because if that happens, it's a better chance for the Cowboys to get one of the players that they want. I'm hoping it's Mansour Delane. I do. I hope it's Mansour Delane. Rumbowski said taking a safety at 12 after Jalen Thompson signing makes no sense. Hey, Rumbowski, let me tell you something. I also believe the Cowboys have plans for P.J. Locke. P.J. Locke can play himself into an extension. I believe the Cowboys got P.J. Locke to say, P.J., show us what you got. Christian Parker said you can do A, B, C, and D. Come in here and do A, B, C, and D. We'll give you an extension. You don't pay a safety $4 million, basically a $5 million deal just for a backup player. P.J. Locke going to be on the field for the Cowboys. If anybody going to be the odd man out, it's going to be Malik Hooker. I believe the Cowboys want Mansour Delane because imagine Mansour Delane, Savon Revel Jr., Deron Bland, then you got Kobe Durant, you got the kid that we're just talking about, Derion Kendrick, not to mention the other players that you still have left at the cornerback room. Man, I'm telling you, you add Mansour Delane to that room, man, you looking pretty good. And the reason why I believe that it is important for the Cowboys to do this, it is important for the Dallas Cowboys to approach this draft as if Savon Revel Jr. is not going to be ready and like Deron Bland is not going to be ready. Approach this draft like that. Don't approach this draft saying, yeah, we're going to have them. They're going to be ready for game one. No, I want you to approach this draft like they are not going to be ready for game number one. Like they're not going to be ready. So that way you don't get your expectations up so high because expectations are the robber of joy. If they're not ready, you're still ready. Be ready. Be ready. The Cowboys need to improve every position. They need to improve every single thing they can. This is the Cowboys. When you look at the Cowboys on defense, look at this Cowboys cornerback room right now. Savon Revel Jr., Kobe Durant, Deron Bland. I just can't believe Triquez Bridges is on here. Stewart Reddy. Still got Marquise Bell. Gave him an extension last year. We're going to see how that goes. Still got Kalen Carson. He'll be coming off that knee injury a whole year. We'll see how that happens. Josh Butler, I think the Cowboys were basically trying to save him for this year, give him a whole year off that knee. So we're going to see what that cornerback room, they got a bunch of cornerbacks in there, but we need some absolute dogs in there. Some guys that come in and say, no, I'm actually going for a starting position. I'm not trying out. I am the starter. We need some guys with that attitude in there. And so you got Durant, you got Bland, you got Savon Revel Jr. They need another cornerback. They need another cornerback, and they need another top cornerback. They need another cornerback in that mix. They need another cornerback. Derion Kendrick hasn't made it in there yet. I still want another one. I want another one. I don't want the Cowboys again to even think about Triquez Bridges. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Man, I ain't even thinking about Kalen Carson either. Man, I ain't trying to hear nothing on no Kalen Carson. I'm just sorry. I'm not trying to hear nothing on no Kalen Carson, man. I'm not trying to hear nothing on that dude. I want them to go in there and get them a show enough corner, as we used to call it back in the day, a show enough cornerback, man. And if they can get Mansour Delane, get Mansour Delane. Because I'm telling y'all right now, I'm already telling y'all where I am at number 20. I'm already telling you where I am at number 20. I do believe the Cowboys, they do need to get that. I would love for the Cowboys to get an edge in the draft. But where I am right now, Jacob Rodriguez for me. I can't pass Jacob Rodriguez if I'm the Cowboys. I'm gonna trade back a little bit if I'm the Cowboys. I'll trade back maybe 2 to 3 spots and see if I can get me a second or a third round pick, or get me an extra 4th round pick. But I gotta get Jacob Rodriguez, man. I gotta get Jacob Rodriguez. The thing I like about Jacob Rodriguez is not only a dog, he's an ex-quarterback. His mind thinks different back there. Jacob Rodriguez's mind thinks different back there. If there is a guy I want to play the Mike linebacker, if I'm not mistaken, he's a Mike linebacker, right? I got to have Jacob Rodriguez, man. I got to have Jacob Rodriguez. I believe the Cowboys they have got to go after Jacob Rodriguez. I think he's the perfect linebacker because I don't think you're going to get the Sonny Styles and those guys. Now, if Sonny Styles fall to 12, it's a no-brainer. I mean, it's a no-brainer. But just anticipating that Sonny Styles is going to be gone, because I'll be honest with you, somebody brought up trading up for Sonny Styles. Let me tell you something. You couldn't convince me. You couldn't convince me. The only way you can convince me to take your 2 first-round picks for Sonny Styles is that they would have to be 2 top 3 picks. You would literally have to be drafting number 3 overall for 2 years in a row in order for me to give you Sonny Styles. I'm not giving you Sonny Styles for a 12 and a 20. That's just where I am. I'm not giving you Sonny Styles for a 12 and a 20. Because if Sonny Styles is that good, why would anybody trade anything for Sonny Styles? Sonny Styles, there are only 2 players that I can say that this is probably true about in this draft. Sonny Styles, film and combine match. Sonny Styles, film and combine match. Sonny Styles is so good. Pro day, combine, film. I'm that good. I want a player that good. I want a player that good. That says there is no chance I don't do good in any drill on any day because I'm that good. Nah, I'm not trading Sonny Styles. I don't give a doggone if you got I don't care if you got a 9 and a 10. I'm not giving up Sonny Styles for the 9 and a 10 if he's that good. I'm just not doing it. Angie said, Kayla Carson buckled to the bench. I'm with you. We've already seen, I don't need to see Kayla Carson. Now, I want some guys coming in that's saying I'm a starter. I want that kind of competition. Bad says Sonny Styles, Delane, Caleb Downs, C.J. Allen, Rodriguez, Arvell Reese, them is dogs, G. I'm with you. And I think the most obtainable dog for them, Bass, I believe the most obtainable dog for the Cowboys is Mansour Delane and Jacob Rodriguez. Those are the 2 most obtainable dogs. If Mansour Delane is there at 12, get him. And then you go get, and I'll be honest with you, if I got Mansour Delane at 12, man, I'm feeling pretty giddy right now. I might not even worry about trading back. If I want Jacob Rodriguez, I might just say with the 20, forget about it. I ain't even risking it. Give me Jacob Rodriguez at 20, and then we gonna roll with whatever we got. we gonna roll whatever we got. Man, you tell me the Cowboys got Mansour Delane and Jacob Rodriguez at 12 and 20? Shoot, man, I'm Super Bowl bound up in this thing, man. Man, I'm Super Bowl bound up in this thing, boy. Man, I'm Super Bowl bound up in this thing. But the Cowboys, man, they really got to go They really got to go in this draft and do some damage. And they got to make these first 2 picks. They got to make them count. Let me tell y'all something if you don't know already. Mansour Delane is a day 1 starter. I don't care what team he goes to. Mansour Delane is a day 1 starter. Jacob Rodriguez, super smart. It's not just his play on the field. He's super smart. And I love the fact that he's super cocky. That dude is super cocky, man. The dude is super cocky, man. Dude doing Heisman poses after he was making plays. Absolutely love it. Jacob Rodriguez, man, is a great player. Great player. And so that's who I would want the Cowboys to get at 12 and 20. But we're going to see what happens as we get close to the draft. All right, let's go to this article I want you to check out here with Brian Schottenheimer. Poobie D, they need to get this draft right. You're right. Poobie D, they got to hit, man. They got to hit. They got to hit in this draft. They got to hit hard, man. Even down to all the way down to the 7th round, Poobie D, Cowboys got to hit. They have got to hit. Let me see something here. Pro Car Care said, I'm hearing that Cleveland wants out of that 6th pick. I would trade 12 and 20 for the 39th pick. Draft Sunday, whoever we can get at 39, a good player will be there. I'm struggling with that one. Bet they do want to get out of that number 6 pick. But I say this. I think they would be crazy if Sonny Styles is that good. Cleveland crazy. If Sonny Styles is that good, man, I ain't trading no. I'm just not trading no. I'm not trading no Sonny Styles for 12 and a 20. Seniors Fan Show. I like that point of view too. You don't get a 12 and a 20 very often. And the last 2 times the Cowboys got a number 12 pick, Michael Parsons and CeeDee Lamb. I love it. Number 12 is a great place to get a great player. And you never know who's going to fall there. Michael Parsons was not supposed to be there at 12. CeeDee Lamb was not supposed to be there at 12. But yet and still, here they were. So I'm probably going to keep that. If I'm the Cowboys, I'm going to keep that 12 until the last minute. Because I got to see who's going to fall to me at number 12. And I got a feeling the Cowboys may be able to get Mansour Delane out of that. May be able to get Mansour Delane out of that. And that's why I'm hoping. Man, I hope this Todd Simpson. I hope the hype for Todd Simpson goes to a fever pitch. I hope it goes to a fever pitch. We need some more offensive players thrown in there. We really do. Need some more offensive players in there. All right, so Brian Schottenheimer. Cowboys set up to draft natural draft pure. Schotty is excited about this draft. And I really think one of the reasons why Brian Schottenheimer is excited about this draft is because, man, I'm going to tell y'all what I believe about Matt Eberflus. And I've already said this before. I really believe that Matt Eberflus was a problem for Brian Schottenheimer. I mean, I think he may have been walking around the building like nothing he did stank. I think he was kind of walking around the building like he was the man. And so I'm kind of like, I really believe Matt Eberflus being gone is a relief. Oh, I'm sorry. That was CeeDee Lamb at 17. My bad. My bad, David. Hold on a second. Was that, all right, let me get my facts straight. Hold on a second. Was that Ty Booker? Hold on a second. I thought we got somebody seen Cowboys. I thought Lamb was the other player that we got. I know we got Micah at 12. Hold on, let me make sure. Okay, Ty Booker. Ty Booker was the player I was thinking about. Ty Booker. Ty Booker was the player we got at 12. Michael Parsons was the player we got at 12. But CeeDee Lamb wasn't supposed to be there, and we got CeeDee Lamb. But there's another great player we got at number 12 also. Another great player we got at number 12. Alvin Harper. We got Alvin Harper at number 12. But in this year's draft, You could get one of those top players if you just stay pat. So I'm gonna stay in pat from the Cowboys. Yeah. Angie the Rebel Chick said Matt Beaverflus was a toxic ex-boyfriend. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Poobie D. I think Jamont McCoy. I think his stake is rising, man. I think his draft stake is rising. I really do. Mike T. He said Jerry would do what he would do that he loved. Boy, Jerry better not get no offensive tackle. Jerry better not get no offensive tackle, man. If I were the Cowboys, I would probably go trade for an offensive tackle rather than drafting one if they think they really need one. All right, let's read this article real quick from Brian Schottenheimer here. It says the collegiate pro day circuit is spinning at full force. The NFL traveled around the country to various campuses to get eyes on upcoming NFL draft prospects. On Tuesday, head coach Brian Schottenheimer led the Cowboys brass to the University of Texas at Austin's pro day after attending the University of Miami's on Monday. With 2 first-round picks in the upcoming 2026 NFL draft, Schottenheimer and the Cowboys understand the importance of getting the picks right. At the NFL Combine, Schottenheimer said he would be more involved in the draft process in his second year as head coach. Yeah, I agree with the 70s fan show. I understand it. I just don't understand it. Jerry wanted to get some familiarity. That was Jerry's problem. Jerry wanted continuity. But Jerry is going to be rewarded for going with uncomfortability, going with the unknown, going with something new. I believe Jerry is going to be rewarded the same way he was rewarded in the 90s. So Brian Schottenheimer is going to be more involved. It says with the 2 first-round picks in the upcoming 2026 NFL draft, Schottenheimer and the Cowboys understand the importance. It says that he's going to be more involved. It says, what does that look like? It says it's just getting to know all of the prospects from Stephen and Jerry Jones down, Will McClay, Mitch LaPointe, Ross, Chris Vaughn. They've done a great job of setting the board, and now I'm kind of going through all of the positions. He says you want to be prepared to do what we need to do on defense. But certainly we're not going to pass on a great offensive player if they're at their what is it? Offensive player if they're there at one of those spots. Frank Lawrence, you ought to be happy to hear that. Cowboys are basically saying something. I'm telling y'all now, if Jeremiah Love is at number 12, the Cowboys are going to change that draft board. I'm telling you right now. They won't let Jeremiah Love pass by. I guarantee you they won't. And Angie, I like what you said. You said, let Schotty get the running back he actually wants. Angie, I think the running back he actually wants is Javonte Williams. I think that was Schotty all day long. I believe Javonte Williams was Schotty all day long. I believe that extension was Schotty all day long. So he got the running back. But I also think, Angie, you tell me what you think, but I also think that they're going to still impress upon him, Brian. We got you a couple of running backs last year, too, and you got to use the running backs we want, too. Can you implement Jaden Blue and Angie? Think about this. Phil Maffa, you want to talk about a big back running back? Phil Maffa is 235 pounds. 235 pounds. Man, if they can get Phil Maffa on that field, Phil Maffa gonna be a monster. Phil Maffa can run that rock. Just got to make sure he's healthy. Got to make sure he's healthy. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys bring in some other running backs too in the training camp. But again, if Jeremiah Love is there, I'm telling you now, it's going to change the draft for the Cowboys. I just don't believe I do not believe they'll pass up Jeremiah Love. It'll be too much for him. It'll be too hard for him to resist. And he's not a Johnny Manziel. Jeremiah Love is probably one of the top 5 best players in this draft. Top 5 best players. I'm not talking about running backs. He is one of the top 5 best players in this draft. Everything about Jeremiah Love, you couldn't pass him up. You could not pass up Jeremiah Love. It'd be too much. But again, he's saying, he's telling us already, they're going to be prepared to take somebody on offense too. I don't think that Omari Cooper Jr., I don't think he's going to be one of those players. But I think if that running back is there, the Cowboys would probably get him. Let me see something else here. Jay Pell said, watch out. He said, watch out for Tate. If he get wiped out, I bet they pick him. And boy, him as a wide receiver 3. Wow. Yeah. Let me see something. Tate I think they've been talking a lot about Tate. Let me see. I know he's one of the top wide receivers. Well, he's a top wide receiver on the board, right? Yeah, Cornell Tate from Ohio State. Yeah. Yeah, Jeremy Betts. Man, Jeremiah Love there, bro. They're not gonna pass him up. They're not gonna pass him up. Rumbowski said actually the tartness of cranberry goes real good with a lot of things. Okay, y'all talking about drinks. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, this dude, they're not gonna pass up on Jeremiah Love. He's too good. Jeremiah Love is too good. You're not gonna pass him up. Jeremiah Love would have the same effect that Ezekiel Elliott had in his rookie season. Jeremiah Love is a terror. I'm telling you right now. If y'all thought Bijan Robinson was good, and Bijan Robinson is great, man, I think Jeremiah Love is better than him. Shoot, Jeremiah Love is sick. He is sick. Absolutely. Mark Davis said, chat, we got to go up on the super chat, $20 a battle. Yeah. Man, I'm telling you, hey man, I'm just giving us what I know a lot of us know. I'm telling us, man, I think Brian is preparing us that I don't know about Cornell Tate, but I think one of the things he is telling us, Angie, he loves running backs. And Jeremiah Love is one of them old school LaDainian Tomlinson type running backs. If that joker there, man, ain't no way. Ain't no way, Brian is. Ain't no way. I don't think nobody in the Cowboys war room will let them go past Jeremiah Love. I really don't. All right, let's get back into this article that they're talking about here. But again, we're gonna see what a heavily influenced Brian Schottenheimer draft looked like. We're about to see. He's saying we're prepared for defense, but if there is a great offensive player there, we're going to take him. I hope that don't mean offensive tackle. Last year was more of, I saw the highlight film, the POAs. Now I see the game film. I've seen these guys compete. It makes it a little easier to help make that selection. Says the Cowboys have said in the past that the first step towards taking the best player available on the board when they pick is acquiring players in free agency. Schottenheimer believes the Cowboys did a hell of a job with their free agency haul. He said, I think it starts with the guys we brought back first and foremost. I'm always going to start with George and Javonte. Okay, George Pickens and Javonte Williams. Guys like that we signed back on the offensive side of the ball. Okay, I see. Schottenheimer said, getting a chance to get a guy like Rashawn Gary, who I've had to compete against a lot. He's just an incredible football player. He's been from the time he was a senior in high school through Michigan. He said, Jalen Thompson, I love his energy. We played them this year. Kobe Durant, there's been just a ton of guys. Hey, man. Okay. Based on those offseason acquisitions on both offensive and defensive side of the ball, Schottenheimer feels that the Cowboys are set up well going into next month's draft and aren't limited to picking a certain position solely because of need. He said, I think we did a really good job of setting ourselves up to be able to draft natural and draft pure, which is what you want to do. You don't want to have to be forced to reach for a player. That's when you make mistakes. Uh-oh. So that part sounds like Frank Lawrence, no reaches. No reaches. Jalen Thompson, Rashawn Gary says, we're not going to go up to get a Downs. We're not going to go up to get a Sonny Styles. We're not going to go up and reach. We're not going to even go up to get a we're not even going to go up to get a Jeremiah Love. They're saying something. We're going to stand pat. We're going to stand pat. And so we'll get the best player available. And so, Angie, please don't speak this into existence. Because as crazy as this sounds, Cowboys drafting Frank. Please don't let this be true. Please don't let it be true. Mark Davis, appreciate that $20 super chat. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. He said, G2 good at sports talk. I appreciate you. Poopy D, y'all stop speaking this stuff into existence, talking about we drafting a punter. Stop it. Stop saying it. It says on the road with Schottenheimer has been new Cowboys defense coordinator Christian Parker. I love that part right there. I love that part right there. Brian Schottenheimer got his man. Brian Schottenheimer got his man that he can help him to become a head coach rather than somebody who might think they're better than the head coach. Yeah. I just think Matt Eberflus was too much in the grand scheme of things for Brian Schottenheimer. They just didn't mesh. But him and Christian Parker, I think they are the perfect complement to each other. Demetrius Noel said, gee, Schotty needs to concentrate on his play call, and I agree with you on that too. Yeah. Dave M said, I agree with you, G. No reaching. Stay at 12 and 20. When we traded for Maurice Claiborne, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget the Maurice Claiborne. Man, Maurice Claiborne never turned out. Traded for Maurice Claiborne from 14 and 45, and it did not turn out well. I'll never forget that one, man. Angie said, I heard Jerry looking for a UFL kicker. Well, there was a kicker out there that ran a 4.3. So I don't know. Ron Bowski said, if Thiedemann is truly the best available at 12 and Parker has a clear plan of how to utilize two solid safeties in his defensive scheme, then I would pull the trigger. But Ron Bowski, I'm going to go back to what you said before. I don't think they're going to pull the trigger on a safety this year because of Jalen Thompson and P.J. Locke. I don't think they're going to pull the trigger on the safety. I think they're actually going to go linebacker, edge, cornerback. I don't think they're going to do that. It says, for now, the work continues on the pro day circuit for Schottenheimer and the Cowboys. Schottenheimer, Parker, VP of Player Personnel, Will McClay, Director of College Scouting, Mitch LaPointe, and Assistant Director of College Scouting, Chris Vaughn, are continuing their journey to scout players around the country on their respective campuses. Now, what I also like that the Cowboys are doing, I believe Schottenheimer is also talking from this perspective. I believe he's also talking from the perspective of he knows something that we don't know. It is way too much time. It is now, 29 to 30 days from the draft. I believe the Cowboys are going to make some more moves. I am not going to be surprised if the Cowboys go out and trade for a linebacker. That in itself is going to change how the Cowboys also looks at the draft. So Schotty is talking from the perspective of knowing some things, or at least I believe he is. I believe he's talking from the perspective of he knows some things that we don't know. And so what they're doing is, based on what we don't know, they're going to even be more in a position to draft BPA. I still say BDPA, but they're going to be in a position to draft BPA. No reaching or none of those things, because they're going to continue to work the trade. They're going to continue to see if they're going to maybe trade for somebody. Because I do think they're going to probably do one more trade. I'm not going to be surprised. Probably pick up a couple of more free agents. I think there are a couple of more free agents out there that Christian Parker and these guys are doing their research on, that they believe they can whip into shape and play on this defense. So I think Schotty is talking from a perspective of some things that we don't know. He said, I think it starts with getting to know the young man. Schottenheimer said that what he looks for on pro day trips. He said, we try to get in early and take them to dinner, get a chance to kind of see them in an environment other than in the facility where they're talking football, doing football things that they love. That's really important to us. Yeah, I like what they're doing. Yeah, don't rule out Thibodeau. Uh-oh. Pooba D said BCA or BLBA. Tell me what that means. I know you about to tell me what that means. Angie said we need to draft the punt returner. Turpin can't do both. He's either a wide receiver or a returner. He has not had no. Angie, I believe they need to put him right back there at punt returner and stop this wide receiver stuff. Stop this wide receiver stuff. Let him be the kick returner and then use him as a gadget guy. JP said we're really projecting a running back, linebacker, and a safety to go top 10. That's crazy to me. Who's going to be the odd man out? Pick him. Yeah, JPL. That's why I say, JPL, this is one of the reasons why I want Ty Simpson to enter into the conversation. Because if Ty Simpson can enter into the conversation, somebody's falling out of that top 10. Somebody is falling out of that top 10. And so I want the Cowboys at number 12, man, to be able to get them somebody really good. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay, best corner available or best linebacker available. Yes, sir. Joe Smith, I'm still holding out for the Jordan Brooks trade. I think it's the perfect trade for the Cowboys. As a matter of fact, in tomorrow's show, I think we may look at why the Jordan Brooks trade works perfectly for the Dallas Cowboys and what they're doing right now. I think it works perfectly for him. He absolutely works out. He's in a contract season. The Miami Dolphins are basically trying to start all the way over. Let him start all the way over. Go up there and get that man. If I were the Cowboys, I'd do it. And while they're doing it, I wouldn't even do no deal like they did with Pickens. Man, I'd go up there and get him, and I would extend him. I wouldn't want the contract thing coming up. Still, Daryl said LSU's Mansour Delane ran a 4.3 at the combine, and he had a dog on him last year. He had the dog in him last year. I hope we get him. Man, I'm telling you, I'm pulling for that too. Clifford said he hopes they try to. Clifford said he also hopes they try to go and trade for Alex Highsmith. Man, I'm telling you, I think the Cowboys are going to go out there and continue to work, because if the more players they can get in free agency, the more players they can work for, the easier this becomes. So it says, Schotty, it says, we've seen plenty of film. It's more of, do they follow instructions? Are they at the front of the line? Are they competing? Do they have good juice and energy? Those are the things, the kinds of things that jump off during the pro days. Yeah. Hey, Dave M., I'm telling you, the more they do in free agency, the more they'll be able to do BPA. The more they'll be able to do BPA. So I'm excited about what the Cowboys are doing. I'm excited about what the Cowboys are doing. And I love how he brought up in the beginning of this conversation. He brought up, now y'all remember, when they were asked whose idea was it to bring in George Pickens, Jura Jones, Brian Schottenheimer, Will McClay said Brian Schottenheimer and Jura Jones was the ones who kept harping on George Pickens. Brian is saying something, man. Brian is saying George is here to stay. George is here to stay. And this is why I say, man, coming full circle on our discussion that we've been having about George Pickens. For as much as people keep trying to say what George isn't worth, George is worth whatever somebody will pay him. George can't negotiate no deal with 2 first-round picks attached to him. George can't do that. I went back and looked historically. And the Cowboys is one of, I'm talking less than 5 teams, I believe, that have ever in the history of this league that have given up 2 first-round picks for a wide receiver. It's the Cowboys. They're one of only a few teams that have done this. Cowboys made that horrible trade for Joey Galloway. No team does that. George can't negotiate with no team with 2 first-round picks. I don't really care about all of that. I think what people don't understand about George, and I could be totally wrong, until they prove me wrong, I don't think George is asking for $40 million. We haven't heard that. I don't think he's going to do that. I think George wants to stay with the Cowboys. I think he wants to make more than DK Metcalf. I think he wants to make more than DK Metcalf. I think he probably wants to be paid somewhere in that $35, $36, $37 million. But all the Cowboys got to do is get that deal done. Put those void years in there. Give him about $75 million guaranteed. Get the deal done and go out there and get more players with that money. Still Daryl, he said Roy Williams was worse. Still Daryl, I think Roy Williams was what, a first, a third, and a sixth? Man, Roy Williams never panned out. Roy Williams looked the part, but he did not play the part. It was terrible. It was terrible. Yeah, Dave, it sounds like to me Brian is saying that he wants that he wants George to stay in Dallas. And if George will control his agent, George is going to be in Dallas for the long haul. But I'm hoping that the Cowboys and George get this thing done. Man, I tell you, I saw a picture today. Boy, I saw a picture today, that linebacker out of, it might have been the linebacker out of Texas. I saw that his agent is David Mulugeta. Every time I see a player that they're talking to and the agent is David Mulugeta, I just have nightmares, man. Just have nightmares. But nevertheless, Cowboy fans, man, let me tell y'all something. It's the off season. We're checking the progress of the process. But I'm loving the process so far. I'm not worried about the George Pickens thing. I'm just tired of people picking on George Pickens. It's okay to get George on a cheap deal. Stop trying to devalue the man. Trying to convince him and his representation of the Cowboys that he ain't worth this. Man, stop that stuff. George is going to be compensated. And George needs to be a Cowboys for the next few years. It's time for the Cowboys to go all in. They went all in last year. Let's stay all in on offense. Now it's time to go all in on defense. And I love these picks that they're making. They're bringing in that depth. I don't think they're done in free agency. The draft night is going to be incredible. I'm not going to let anything surprise me what the Cowboys do, because I believe the Cowboys are in win now mode. And I believe they're going to be better sooner than later. Man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight. We're going to be back tomorrow. We're going to definitely be early tomorrow. I'll be teaching Bible tomorrow at this time. Or at the time I came on today. So we're going to be early tomorrow. Y'all set those notification bells. We'll be back bringing you any news that happens with the Cowboys. Until the next time, TC4L, God bless. Let's talk Cowboys and we talk facts. Peace.